Hello everyone! Welcome back again to Pixel Perfect 3. I hope you are now back at your seats because coming up next we have MIDI running a super little Acorns 3D Turbo on Nintendo 3DS. MIDI, take it away.
Thank you so much. Hey, I'm Midi. I speedrun a lot of different games, often Nintendo, maybe a lot of Wii series, stuff like that. But today we have two DS titles. The first one's a 3DS title. It's actually Super Little Acorns 3D Turbo. This is a port of a game that was released a couple of years earlier for mobile. I believe it's not actually available now because mobile games from back then are just difficult to get hold of now. But thankfully we do have the 3DS version, which is ironically now also locked to the 3DS eShop, but we do still have it for today. We're going to be running the turbo mode, which is the only new thing pretty much in the port, apart from button controls, which is fantastic. Essentially all it's going to mean is the game goes faster. That is literally it. So when I press start game, that is when the run is going to start. So I'll give a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I've just realised something. 1 second. The good start. Hold on. Okay, my laptop was not plugged in. That would be bad if that did not stay plugged in there. We should be back, hopefully. Okay, cool. Right, let's continue. So, this is Super Little Acorns 3D Turbo. Essentially, how this works is it's basically a collectathon game. We have to collect every acorn in every level. There are other things we can do which you might notice from the touchscreen. However, we don't need to do all of those, or any of them, actually. We just need the acorns, because 100% is where you would collect the medals as well. So, essentially, the medals you can see at the bottom, they are for the acorns, the fruits as well. So every time we get all of the acorns, that is going to unlock the fruit. Is essentially a thing to sort of make the level a little bit longer. You also have the speed medal, which is ideal for us as speedrunners. And that actually will come into play in this run. We do want to get all of those, so we unlock the final year quicker. And we also have the enemy medal, which is pretty much killing every enemy in a level. Now, this is actually one of the first levels that actually matters for movement. Most of the others are pretty self-explanatory. But we have cleared that fairly quickly, very nice. And now we are also coming up onto a baby level. So every final level in spring, summer, and autumn, they are going to have babies as well. So, this is going to be awkward. Okay, that's fine. We'll go the other way. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit for that power-up to spawn back in. It's a high jump power-up. That's the only way I can get up here. Unfortunately, the moment I get those platforms out of the way... Oh, I've done it again. I'll wait for that baby this time. As soon as I get the platforms out of the way, they kind of get off of their path. The moment they jump, they are going to retarget. This is going very swimmingly. That's fine. We'll go this way now. So we now have all of the acorns. We do still have 2 more babies, which should be on the bottom. There they are. So the babies jumping is actually RNG in most levels, which is not great. The moment they jump, basically, if they leave their intended path, then they will basically just keep on falling, and there are some levels where that just is really unhelpful. So, yeah, just finishing up that level there. This is actually a backtrack level, so if I miss any acorns on levels like that, we don't need to worry too much because we're going to end up going back again. And this is the exact opposite. This level, we have to get them all on the way forward. That's why I'm sort of going back there. If I miss any, then I'm going to have to go back straight away. Otherwise, we are not going to complete the level. The door will not unlock. But yeah, that's it there. So we barely got that speed medal, only a second remaining. And the speed medals actually do matter a little bit because essentially if I don't get all of the speed medals for all of the first 40 levels, then we are not going to unlock the final year. And essentially, levels in this game are categorized into years and then broken down from there into seasons. So right now we're on summer, and then we're coming up actually close to the end of it now. But yeah, basically that's how this game works. But you do need a certain number of acorns to unlock the final year. So I like to just do all of the top first here. And these grapplers are also pretty much the only way you can actually speed up in this game. So the turbo does make this game a lot faster. The game definitely feels a little bit sluggish when you're not playing turbo, but thankfully we can play on an existing save that has turbo mode unlocked. And then, yeah, that is very, very nice for speedrunning. So here I might as well actually go to the bottom again. Now, this is the first level with the speed power-up. So I'm going to just dash straight through here. We've got 1 acorn remaining. And I don't really want to get hit by these enemies. I think I haven't got hit so far. So it hasn't actually come up yet, which is quite funny. Don't remember the last time that happened, to be honest. But basically, there you go. It was just a matter of time after I said that. So when you get hit by an enemy, there's no sort of damage mechanic in this game. It's literally just... if you get hit, you slow down, which is kind of worse because there's not really any point we can damage boost in the game and actually make it worth it for us. But we do have these invincibility power-ups which will help us out. And also with the grapplers, if I get a little spin from it, from having enough speed, that is also a point where we are invincible. So yeah, these grapplers, I'm pretty much swinging on most of them whenever I am close to the bottom of it or when I start to fall, just so I can use them for as much speed as I can. So this is quite an interesting level. I'm actually going to fall back down here because we will need to climb to the top anyway. We've got these breakable platforms. If I break the wrong ones, then I won't be able to get back up. Thankfully, I can use the grapple for that one. And I believe we're coming up to another baby level soon. After this one's very long. I do have to go through the center here. I might as well do that now. Slowing me down. So we now also get these extra enemies, these pea shooter enemies. They will shoot poison. They are pretty annoying to deal with. I will be trying to avoid them as much as possible. As soon as you go into their line of sight, so even right there, it's firing at me, which makes it really difficult. So even though we are not going for the enemy kills, I will sometimes just get them anyway, just to make my life a little bit easier. And then we are coming up on the next baby level. So this one, the intended paths for the babies are very small. So the moment they jump, as long as they're not jumping into the wall that's directly next to them, they are going to end up pretty quickly going to the bottom. So I'm actually not worrying about them too much. Obviously, I'm getting them whenever I'm going onto their paths, because if I don't do that, then chances are I'm going to end up with one baby. See, look here. There's one just straggler up here. So we'll get that. I'm trying to get through the platforms. There we go. And the jumping, the jump RNG is so irritating. But yeah, that's another baby level done. And we move on to winter. So winter's where it starts to get a little bit more interesting. I'm going to be doing some constant jumps on the snow here because the snow greatly reduces our speed. As long as we have that super speed as well, and we're doing that, it's very, very obvious that it does do that. Fantastic. I'm going to climb back up this way. So as long as the dotted lines are appearing, they're very faint. But as long as they're appearing on the grappler, that is when we can actually use the grappler. Here I'm deliberately not getting on those platforms, otherwise we're not going to be able to get down here. And I'm going to just do this. I don't have time to grab that extra power up there. That's okay. So this spider has a really long way to fall, but it actually falls much quicker because of that. Basically, every spider in the game, except for like one level, the spiders will always take the same amount of time to rise and fall. So if they have a really long path, that's frustrating. Oh, we got knocked the right way though. That's very lucky. Normally I get quite unlucky there, and then it takes a really long time. That's not the end of the world. But yeah, most of the time the spider paths will always take the same amount of time. So this is another one where the gate is at the top, so I'm going to need to... nice, save. We are not falling in the water. So you can die in this game if you fall in the water or anything similar. Can we make it to the other one? Okay, we can with a big swing. There we go. So if you fall in the water, that would be a death and you would have to start the whole level again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And this level actually is one of the most irritating at 100% because these little porcupines or hedgehogs, whatever, I don't know, they are invincible. We can only kill them with the invincibility power-up. I am very surprised I dodged that pig. Or we can kill them with a swing from a grappler. The issue is, the invincibility power-up is incredibly far away, so we can only ever get one, and that's only if you have a really good, well-timed cycle on that level. I come back down that way, so let's not do that. Or the grapplers as well are really far away, so in 100% that would be a pretty long level. But yeah, here, another one where the gate is at the bottom. So we're going to go up on the right side and down on the left. And then just fall down here, and that's the level. And I got an achievement. So basically, I'm playing on an existing save, which already has quite a lot of hits on enemies, just so I could unlock Turbo. So, of course, with that, some of the achievements have some progress as well, which doesn't make too much of a difference in this run. Now, I'm going a little bit slow at the beginning because we have to wait for this lift. There's no way of making the early cycle there. It's literally impossible. There's no grapplers to speed yourself up. And then here as well, we have to wait for the bees to get out of the way. So it's a very auto-scrollery kind of boss. But that is year 1 already finished. And you might be thinking, we are not very far into this run, and we have already completed a Well, the levels later on are going to be a lot more backtrack focused, and going to have a lot more acorns. So there's a lot more left of the game. I did not make that cycle, that's fine. So we now have these grey bricks that we can now break. And again, we can use the invincibility power-up, or we can swing into them. As long as I make sure I get those 2 acorns, otherwise I have to do the whole level again. The good thing is the actual timer for every level is incredibly generous compared to the speed medal. So if we really need to, I can just replay some of the quick early levels late into the run, just to make up our acorn deficit. But it would be really nice to have a run where I don't need to do that at all. I'm not even sure my PB gets that. And I don't think we're going to PB here, but it would be really nice to get a run like that. I think we might be on for that at the moment, but there are some levels that could bring that later on. So an interesting thing with the enemy counter in this game, the fish don't count. They are really hard to kill. You can kill them, but like say that one in the pond right there, it's pretty much impossible to kill. So they're just not counted for that medal. And I died. So we're obviously going to have to restart the level. So that's the biggest time loss we can get in this run. That's fine. So here we can just fall. We don't actually have to jump past that bee. We can fall there, that's fine. Let's make it up. Excellent. So there's still more water in this level. We are coming near the end, but yeah, very, very long level for you to end up dying. And there's still 16 seconds remaining, so it is actually... no, let's not restart. Let's play the next level. 4. There we go. Yeah, it is possible to actually get the fruits in the same clear as the speed medal there. So this one's a very, very fun level. You're only really limited to how well you can do with the grappling. Really fun IL here. And the good thing with ILs in this game is that there's an in-game timer. If I stay for long enough on the clear screen, it will tell you to, in centiseconds, of how well you did. And there's also a PB system in the game as long as you don't delete your save, which is fantastic. It's great that this game has that. unfortunately, because the game is so difficult to get hold of, it's kind of, again, as I mentioned earlier, locked to the 3DS eShop, which is not the best fate for a game. Okay, that's fine. So Spider just getting in the way there, that's okay. Big grapple here. Helps us speed up. So the babies, as soon as they get to the bottom there, you have to go for a really long trip to just get to the other side and find them all. Okay, so here, again, we have to wait for a cycle. And I missed it. Wow. I actually got on the lift and then got back off. Let's not do that. So... Oh, no. Okay. Okay, we got back on the lift. Cool. We didn't miss another 2 cycles. Nice. So this one, we are pretty much just getting all the acorns as we come through. There can be a weird thing there where if you hit the bricks in the wrong way, you actually end up falling through. I almost had that there. Not quite, but almost. So we'll get these 3 acorns. I'll actually hit the grey bricks there just to fall a little bit quicker. The best thing about this run is sort of abusing gravity to fall quicker, and I'm doing jumps. As soon as I land on the breakable platforms sometimes, I'm doing a jump, just so I start falling with maximum sort of velocity, rather than hanging around. That's a nice quick kill. Very good. So here, I have to actually get on this lift to get the other acorns. That's the fastest way of doing that whole section. Okay, so these ones, again, I do have to swing to get those 2 acorns on the sides there. That's okay. And then we will have to come around. I'm going to go on this side with the lift, because I will need to do the lift anyway for the acorn. There we go. And I'm just going to hang around here. That is always going to jump at the same sort of time there. And hopefully... yeah, I can't actually reach that with a grappler. That's fine. We'll get back on the lift. So this level is 45 acorns, and I missed all 3. Okay, we got the last one. Cool. So that one's 45 acorns. There's a lot more coming up in the game. You might notice every time I clear a level, we get a little animation play that we are skipping every time, where all the acorns fall into the tree. And that sort of signifies how far you are in completing 100% in the game. And it also marks how far away you are from unlocking Year 2. So as I was mentioning earlier, the exact number to unlock Year 2 is to have every speed medal and every clear medal. So as long as we get all of them, which I'm not sure if we've missed any so far. I might have, I might be misremembering, but we might be good at the moment. If we've only missed 1 or 2, then that's ideal. We only have to replay mission 1. So here, these fish are actually going to get in our way a little bit, just being a little bit careful there. And then yet another level that is fairly long with more water. Very good. So I've tried very hard to make that early cycle. It's really difficult to make that, especially if you're doing 100% and killing all the enemies as well. Let's do a big jump there. Excellent. Okay, we're barely going to make it. Nice. Okay, no, we're not going to make that one. I know my limits. We're not going to make that. The thing is, if I miss that, I have to redo the entire bottom section as well. So it's just not worth jumping, knowing that I'm going to fall. So again, more lifts we have to wait for. There's not really any way of skipping anything here, apart from almost falling off. There we go. We can do a little jump at the end, though, and that clears the level. And then we have possibly the most annoying baby level. So getting extra time, that will come in very useful. Hopefully we don't need all 1 minute 40 for this level, but it's useful to have, I guess. So the babies, some of them are in the pits, some of them are at the top. So I like to grab the ones at the top just for safety at the beginning. Doing ILs of this level is an absolute pain, though. It is incredibly inconsistent, and also the fact that in 100% it is technically possible to get all 4 medals in one playthrough. Most levels you can only get either the speed or all of them but speed, but there are some levels where you can get them all, and obviously that saves you from playing every level twice, which is very, very good. Now that level is barely possible, and in my testing I managed to do it like once in an hour of doing it. So if I ever do another 100% run, that would technically be a massive time save because it's quite a long level too. So here, just swing into these final Acorns, close that level. And we are also starting to notice some new things. We've got switches in the game now. I don't know why I'm doing that middle bit first. Switches in the middle. So essentially, if we swing into a switch or if we jump on a switch, then it will change the bricks, which ones are active and which ones are not. The only switch in this level that we can actually hit is at the top. So now I've done both of those sections. We'll go back through here, do the middle, hit this switch, and then do the other two. So the other two have a few more enemies to deal with. So we also see these bats now. The bats are basically going to start following us as soon as we come into their path. As long as I get out of their path fairly soon, or their activation radius, then they will sort of stop following us eventually. But if you stay with them near where they originally start off for too long, then they're going to look like they're going, and then they actually just don't go. They just stay. You don't want that, because they can get really frustrating, and especially with water nearby as well. Very easy to end up with a death from that. So I'll grab this power up as well, why not? Just so I can power through here. It is a little bit faster to do it that way rather than get hit by the enemy. It loses a surprising amount of time to get hit by an enemy. And then that's the level. So as long as I just mash A at the beginning, we will make it through that and avoid that fish. So we're just going to come up this side. And this is a really funny mechanic in the game. So because I am close enough to the grappler, I can actually just grapple even though technically... Oh, that's frustrating. Technically, I am supposed to hit the switch to get to that one. You don't actually need to. Okay, we're going to have to wait here. Otherwise, I'm going to end up dying to the pit. There we go. Yeah, should have waited on that cycle, but that's okay. So we're on to yet another baby level. What is going to happen on this one is they're again going to sift through down to the bottom. I've got to remember I've got one acorn missing on the left. Excellent. So getting all those top ones again, because otherwise I'm relying on RNG to knock them all down. So it is possible to get these acorns without actually hitting the springs, which would be faster because the springs are really slow. He says, as he hits 2 of the springs. Finishing the level, though. Pretty nice. So the good thing about the baby levels is they were very lenient with the speed medal on a lot of them, because they realised how difficult it is to consistently get quick clears of those. I tried to do the little instant let go of the grappler there. So the good thing with that is that it kind of acts like a double jump. You can grab a grappler and then just let go to kind of do a double jump, and I could have made that there, barely missing it though. So there we go, that's how it works. Okay, that doesn't actually lose too much time. That doesn't lose any time because I have to wait for the lift anyway. Again, these pea shooters, they are not actually the most annoying enemy though. We are going to see one more that shoots these little peas at us, but in a much more difficult way than they do in a straight line. So we'll see those in year 3. This one again, very grappler heavy. Gonna get as many as I can as I come through the left side, and then we'll get all the rest on the other side. So the thing is with this one, the right side goes a lot higher, so I don't really have to worry too much about doing it a lot at the beginning. I activated the bat. That is not what I wanted to do. I did get the acorn though, that I thought I might miss. Very good. Almost died in the water. That would not have been the first time. That water is kind of blocked off by the bee, but it is very possible to die there. Okay, so this one is interesting. So we actually want to go on the 3rd floor. And the reason for that is because, as long as I get this acorn as well, that's frustrating, we are able to just fall straight down. Whereas if I go from the bottom up, we're going to have to keep going to the middle to then get to the next floor, essentially. So that's a little optimization of this level. So we do have these new enemies that shoot these spiked balls. They aren't too much of a problem because they just stick to the ground a lot of the time. Nice, barely avoided that. So we do a big swing there, get through, then finish the level. Finish the level. So here I'm going to go right side because the spider is on a better cycle that side. We are going to have to come back down and do left straight away though because the exit is at the top. Again, activating the bats. Almost got that acorn without hitting that spring there. And then there's just a couple on the sides. I'm gonna have to swing through the middle, that's fine. Oh, nice, straight in the door. Cool. So now we have another boss stage. So this is essentially, instead of a baby stage in the winter levels, you have a boss stage. And this is the spider. So the main thing with the bosses is that they will always go on the same path, and if they catch up to you, you're going to have a really hard time winning. Because essentially you just end up crashing into them a bunch of times unless there's sort of a shortcut path on some of the maps, which there is not very many of. You're just going to keep getting hit to the enemy and you're just going to be really slow. Thankfully, we can completely outrun him though, and that is it. So, have we unlocked? No, we haven't. We are 40 short. Okay, that is quite a lot more than I thought we were. Okay, so we're going to replay a few levels here. In fact, if I just get the enemies here, and then I also get the acorns, that should finish this level. So we have to come back down to the bottom. Most of these badges are going to give us an extra 10 acorns, so we're going to go and play another level that doesn't have anything else unlocked like that. So you can circumvent this problem by... yeah, I'm not surprised I didn't get a speed medal here, actually. I forgot about this level. You can actually circumvent this by playing on an existing file. But it is actually slower to do that because you then have to menu after every level to then get into the next one. So as much as you would avoid the acorn requirements, it is then technically slower. And technically it's faster to just get all of the speed medals because it's in the name. So that should unlock year 3 for us. Or not. Oh, we're 10 acorns short still. I forgot to do the fruits, that's why. That's okay. So as long as I either get speed or fruits here, then we will finish this one off. Speed will give us the 10 acorns we need. I'm surprised I didn't get it here, though. Maybe from missing a couple of cycles. Okay, anyway, moving on to year 3. This is the hardest one in the game. Straight away, we're going to be introducing these new enemies. They are the ones that I was talking about. Almost got the early cycle. That shoot these peas at us at angles. Needless to say, I will be killing most of them that are going to get in my way as soon as possible. Because although it's going to slow me down, it's much better than getting stuck in a loop with them where you are constantly getting hit by their peas. So I was on the other side of them there, so that's fine. You can just dash through this entire bottom section very quickly. And is this bat going to get in my way? Not too much. It's good to use the grapplers when you've just been damaged because you then don't have too much of an issue with your slowdown. It's just when you jump off, you still have no speed. So just try not to jump off during the slowdown. Otherwise, you're probably going to fall. Okay, so anyway, gonna kill these enemies, definitely. They will almost certainly get in my way. Yeah, I mean, point proven. Literally hitting it on the head, and the pea comes out at pretty much the exact same time and bonks me first. Okay, that's fine. So here, I'm actually going to avoid the platforms because if I hit them, then I'm not going to be able to climb up that way. I'm going to have to do a lot of the level again to get that other acorn. And again, more swinging going on here with this one. So I'm going to just fall to the bottom, and then I can miss out a few of them on the right-hand side, because that's where the door is anyway. Going to wait for that spider. Excellent. And then what we're going to do is finish off there. And yeah, we have one more acorn to get this side. So we've got these three. Really not too much of a detour leaving those to the end, though. Missing the cycle there, unfortunately, that is fine. Yeah, so essentially these grapplers at the top, I missed it again. At least I'm not falling in the water. That could be a lot worse. So these grapplers, there's a big gap between the two. And you also have a bee on each side. If that bee sort of gets in the way, then it becomes a bit difficult to deal with. Let's avoid this one, not quite. Doesn't matter too much because we've got the lift to contend with anyway. But yeah, it's really hard to just go straight through with one swing on each one. Yeah, see there, I actually went a little bit too low by hitting that bee. But I didn't want to get hit to the bee, is the issue. And you do also have to get the acorns as you come through. So here we're going to do the thing I talked about. I'm going to jump straight after each lift, and it's going to just speed up that section a little bit more. Ah, barely wasn't able to jump in time there, that's fine. So if we do a little short grapple there, then we're able to recover ourselves a little bit better. These bats are getting my way. Okay. We'll grab the invincibility, that'll help us out. So we'll come up top path here. I'm going to have to backtrack though. So these bats, very, very tight space here. So a lot of the time they're going to stay on our path, which is not great. Can just barely backtrack without having to go all the way around though. I think I saw, yes, I was right. I did see a baby go exactly where I didn't want it to go. That's fine. Finishing off the level. No speed medal, but it doesn't matter now because we already have year 3 unlocked. There's nothing else to unlock in the game at this point. So this level we have 3 lifts. I essentially want to get the acorns as we go through, whenever is most convenient. I kind of have my own cycles to deal with this for. Barely... Oh, the enemy? That's a shame. So, whenever you get hit to an enemy, there's a small cooldown to be able to grapple. Even though you can still grapple during the slowdown. Wasn't able to quite re-grab there. That's okay. So we can grab this one now. Just gets it out of the way just in case it's difficult to get it later. So here we don't have to do too much detouring because almost outrunning the peas, which would have not been good. Because we're not killing the enemies here. Nice save using the grappler. And we can do a massive jump all the way to the end. So 17 seconds more for the speed medal on that one. A lot of the long levels where there's grapplers have really long speed medals again. Alright, so this one I'm being a little bit careful because there are just random pools of water in bad places. This one is the worst one on the right hand side there. That has killed me so many times in runs. And also this one. There's only one block to fall through, but it is technically possible. Got to be the most unfortunate pool to fall in this game. There we go, we got it. Alright, nice one. Okay, so next one, we have more of these. We're seeing a lot of these newer things that we've introduced in some of the levels so far, just appearing all at once now. We got the switches, we got these enemies that are shooting peas at us, we got the bricks to break through as well. Lots going on here. Now, here's an interesting thing. I can kill this bat, and then if I do a perfect jump, there we go, excellent. You can get all 3 acorns without having to activate the switch again. So it doesn't save too much time doing that, but it is still good to do that. Yeah, I kind of expected that to get in my way. Let's just get it now. It's just going to be faster. So very, very difficult stage to play fast there. Okay, so if I do an early enough jump, okay, I'm going to mash A right at the beginning and hope I make it. I did not. I'm not going to restart again. But essentially, you can make an early cycle here. If you mash A, essentially the level starts as soon as it loads in. So you can press A to start the level early, and this actually comes into ILs into play. Can we get rid of the bat? Thank you. So with ILs, it can be an advantage to wait to press A, or actually not press A at all, and stall the level from starting by about a second. That is a very, very niche thing, and it doesn't apply to many levels, but there are some cycle-based levels where that's the case. And that does actually give you an advantage because, of course, the timer doesn't actually start until it appears in the top corner. But here, because we're just trying to go as fast as possible, RTA, it doesn't matter. We just want to start the level as soon as possible. Now, this is the level I was talking about where the spiders have a different amount of time to fall. They only have 2 tiles of space, so they just rise and fall very quickly. Now, here is a really long section. If I keep getting here, I'm going to just try and get the babies as I come through. So we've got all the babies. They're all sort of gathered at the bottom, so it's advised to just get them all straight away. Excellent. And then here I'm going to have to go that way. That's fine. Barely making it on. And that switch just unlocks a little invincibility thing in the middle, just so we can kill the hedgehogs if we needed to. Now this one, talking of damage boosting, this one's going to be a lot of damage boosting through the level to speed it up. So barely managing to get that last one there. The other one I can just avoid anyway. Basically, by stalling when I actually hit these little breakable bricks, it means we can get more of the spike balls into that area than we might be able to without doing that. So we can actually kill all of them. Whereas if you only if you hit all of the platforms at the same time, you're not going to get all of them killed and out of your way, essentially. But yeah, finishing off the level there, making sure I did the top bit last. That was actually really, really solid. A lot of the time that level does not go very smoothly because you have to know exactly where you're at with the enemies in the bottom paths. Barely made it onto that. That's amazing. I did not expect to. I imagine that was pretty tight to make that because there could not have been much more distance for me to make that grappler. But excellent. That has saved a lot of time doing that. Very good. Yeah, the grapple-based levels are so fun for ILs. This one, though, this is a spring one. I'm going to try and get some of these bats on the way through. And there is a bit of a cycle I need to worry about here. Now, the issue with this one is if I just run straight across without jumping, you can just die. So I want to not do that. Now, that acorn at the top is pretty difficult to get, so it's just good to get that out of the way. Can I make this without dying? No, the bat hit me. I would definitely have made that. That's fine. We're going to have to redo the whole level again. I would definitely have made that, though, had that bat not been there. That was bad timing. So because the platforms are rising there rather than falling, we actually won't fall into the water. You don't sort of snap to the platforms. I've done it again. Incredible. Alright. Let's try again. No. Okay. Let's get this bat first, because this is the one that's getting in our way here. As long as I get that one, then we will be okay. There we go. And if I do another one... Excellent, we got that other difficult one to get to. Now this one, again, we'll get that one there. That bat's not staying on me. Oh, it is. Oh, it's not. Okay, we're not gonna risk it here. We're just gonna go now. Nice. So we make that. And we do still have to do these little parts on the side. Not managing to avoid the bats there. Barely outrunning them though. And then that's the level done with 33 seconds left on the speed medal. That's another one that is very lenient. Oh, missing an acorn there, that's fine. So this spring one, I'm going to kind of do a double jump kind of thing with these grapplers. The moment I get to the top of a grappler, I am going to press it and then I'm going to let go straight away just to get an instant jump. And then we're able to just make it straight onto the next platform. It speeds this level up quite a lot. falling into the abyss there. Not advised. We don't want to fall into the pit of water at the bottom. So we're kind of just waiting now. There are 7 at the top, I believe. Yeah. So we've done them all. Excellent. So this is another baby level, except this time, in a way, this is helpful and also not helpful. The babies are caged in. So their RNG of jumping around is going to mean nothing here. But at the same time, we're having to go pretty much out of our way every time just to free them. Now, we can use most of the grapplers to free them, and there is a bit of a weird thing with the grapplers where it is quite lenient. Like, I managed to break that brick there, even though it kind of didn't look like it should be broken. The good thing is, if we're not having too much luck with that, I can just use the invincibility. So we're missing 2 acorns. We have all the babies, though. Where are the last 2 acorns? There they are. Oh, we fell all the way. I was too focused on that enemy. Okay, so we can do a little shortcut here and make it up. We are coming towards the end of the game, though. We're already in autumn. We've got 5 levels to go, and then we are finished. So 4 more winter levels and a boss. This one's quite long, though, so doing an early jump there, just barely avoiding that enemy. And then here we actually have to sort of pay attention to these spike balls, otherwise we're going to get hit. So they will just keep on rolling until they hit a wall. So even though it was in a different section, they will just keep on going. And then here I actually have to use the spring to get that other acorn. So here we can skip a couple of lifts at the same time. We can just do 2 there. And then the whole way along, we're hopefully going to be following these peas. We don't want to be outrunning them, because then I'll probably get hit and fall in the water. I have to redo the whole thing again. But that's the level finished. 4 to go. Now this one's interesting. We have a speed power up on this one. So I can... Oh, missed that acorn. No, that's fine. So if I come through, do this, and then get right up to the top, grab this speed, we're then gonna fall in the pit. Okay, great. That's not how it's supposed to go. But essentially we can chain together the 2 speed power-ups because there is one on either side. Some levels are a little bit like asymmetrical. This one, though, there is a speed power-up on both sides. I kind of forgot that the platforms there are breakable. That was not good. Yeah, here I'm actually gonna do the bottom first to get that out of the way. Then we'll come up to the top. And then that is the level. Turns out when you're jumping, doing a lot of parkour around the pool of water, you're gonna fall in. Okay, so this level's a little bit strange. Although there's a lift at the beginning, you actually have to do both lifts right at the start. Otherwise, you're not gonna have all the acorns, and you're gonna have to do the entire thing again. So here, I might as well just go out of my way, get these 3 acorns now, and then just mash jump just to avoid those snow slowing me down there. So if I hit that switch, I can then go up to the top, and we can then go on the right side, grab those acorns there, do the same again, hit the switch, go on the left side. Excellent. Nice. So just a couple of levels to go now. This one again, a very long one. So here, the invincibility power-up, I like to just use straight away on the grey bricks. The issue is if it runs out, I then have to wait 5 or so seconds for another one to spawn in. It's just very, very long. And to get all of the acorns and keep your invincibility to break those walls is very difficult. It's just better to play safe there. The time saved is very minimal for what it would actually give. Ah, no. Okay, as long as I make it up to here, because again, same principle. If I fall down and I don't have that high jump, we're going to have to wait for the high jump power-up to spawn in. as you can see, missing that cycle by multiple seconds. So glad I did the invincibility at the beginning. Alright, and one final boss level. This is our final level of the run, and then time is going to come up when the door closes at the end. So I'll hopefully give a couple of second warning before that happens, at least. We are a little way off, though. It's going to take about a minute, this level. So, right at the beginning, this is the bat chasing us. Now, the bat's going to take the bottom path, same as we had to. But we have those grapplers there, speeds us up quite a lot. And then we also have the speed power-up. I'm going to try and make as early of a cycle as I can on this lift. Very nice. So here, there's a little bit of grappling going on again. Being very careful around that water there. I fell in that lots of times before. Nice, almost missed that grappler. That was scary. And time's coming up. And that's time. Okay. So that is the run. That is Super Little Acorns 3D Turbo, and we'll let this play out this time. We are just under 50% because I didn't get all the speed medals there. But that's the game. I love this game. It's a really nice, neat little platformer. It's very full on. There's next to no downtime in this run. It's fantastic. So we also do have normal mode. It's literally just a slower version of the game. That's why I prefer running Turbo for marathons. But that is pretty much it. Next run coming up, I believe, is Mario Kart DS, which I'm going to be running. So I'll keep the outro stuff to a minimum. But yeah, if you want to see more runs of this, I do runs sometimes on my Twitch, SMMidi. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I'll hand back to our host. Thanks so much for having me.
Yep, thank you very much. And yeah, congratulations for the great run. And yeah, so yes, Miri mentioned after the intermission, we'll have a short animation, but after that, we'll have Miri coming back for Mario Kart DS. So if you love that run, make sure to tune back in because Miri will still be here. And yeah, see you in a bit.